How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? Given the chance, I'm gonna tell you now. How many ways can I give thanks for the blessings I have known? I've got a list, and I will tell you how. Grateful for each breath awake, grateful for each step I take, grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun, grateful when the day is done, grateful that I have you in my heart. Grateful for this universe, for the better and the worse. Grateful that this world keeps spinning round. Grateful for my memories, grateful for my hopes and dreams, grateful for the blessings I have found. Can I give praises for all the gifts I have? Given the chance, I'm gonna shout out loud. Grateful for each breath awake, grateful for each step I take, grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun, grateful when the day is done, grateful that I have you in my heart. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways?
There was a time in my life when I had blurred vision. I wasn't finding peace anywhere, and I certainly wasn't finding truth in religion. So one day I decided that I would sit in the silence in my room. And I vowed that I would stay there till something in me moved. And I heard a voice. It was a still, small voice. And this is what it said. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. Now I see God everywhere, a little more each day. I see God in the flowers and in the bills that I choose to pay. I'm feeling God in my breath, spoken with each word. Oh, I'm feeling God breathe His life into me. Let God's love be God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here. Well, there once was a wise man, and this is what he said. He said that God is good all of the time, and that's stuck, oh, it's stuck in my head. So I said it as my mantra. Each and every day I said it until I believed it. Now that's my life each and every day. Yes, I finally achieved it. Sing it with me now. God is here. God is here. No matter where I am, God is here.
without a warning, without a sound. We woke up one morning to a world turned upside down. Everything changed in the blink of an eye, dealing with the unknown and trying to survive. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And when this is all over, in our new reality, when we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. We've been through quite a battle, like none we've ever seen. We kept hoping we'd wake up to find out it was all a bad dream. But that day's never come. It'll be a while yet, with more obstacles to overcome and challenges to be met. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And when this is all over, in our new reality, when we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. We were locked down in our homes, surrounded by bad news every day, watching our lives as we knew it quickly fade away. And when this is all over, in our new reality, when we gather together, will we still stay apart 6 feet? Will the music be playing like it did before? When this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more. And when this is all over, I'll treasure each day even more.
supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community and we believe that there are many paths to one divinity. So what does that mean to you sitting at home, watching on Facebook or YouTube or however you happen to be watching it this time? We have 10 different faith perspectives. We have 10 different musical artists. We ask each of them to put together a half-hour talk for the speakers, 2 videos for the musicians, on a single-word topic, and that entire package becomes a series. If you would like to join us in this endeavor, you can connect with us at www.peopleofdiversity.org and push the button in the middle of the page, not at the top of the page, the middle of the page. Of course, by now, we could have this problem fixed.
Maybe.
Maybe. And move as you are moved, whether that be a donation, a tithe, an offering, however you want to word it, frame it, or set it up in your mind. We are grateful for all that you do and that level of participation. I think that's all I know.
Okay. We are currently doing the topic of respect. And last week was Muslim Nuran Sykes, as we expected, very interesting look from a Muslim woman on respect. Very cool. And her musical guest was Kristen Hope Justice. Today we are going to hear from Bahá'í Dean Martineau, and his musical guests are Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer.
Whoop, whoop.
Next week will be our Native American representative, Will Davis, and his musical guest will be Keith Leon.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
a good
that'll be
groovy
good.
mix
Right.
too. Yeah.
Past services are available on the People of Diversity Facebook page or Facebook group. The service from the week that we just did will be pinned to the top of the page, and then past services are be available in the video or the live section, depending on which, or if you're on the group or the page. So, and we are also actively working on getting that YouTube page put together, so you'll be able to search on what you want to see by topic or by faith. So, immediately following the morning service from 11:45 till 12:15, we do a 30-minute deep dive, and that's live on Zoom, so we can actually see each other. It's amazing. And talk about the service, check in. It's really enjoyable. We get such a kick out of doing that and seeing people and getting the opportunity. Sometimes the speakers can join us and sometimes they can't. Moran doesn't usually join us because Sunday is a big pickleball day and she is a big pickleball champion. So that's a busy day for her. But we just talk about amongst ourselves the service and just share ideas. It's fun. So, and then at 5:45 on Sunday evening, we rebroadcast the morning service, and it's on Facebook Live again, and we shoot hearts and talk in the comment box, and I always get a lot more out of the talk when I watch it twice. It's amazing. So it makes me wonder about if I did that with the rest of the stuff in my life. We won't even go there. Okay. So you can get Facebook notifications. Makes it real easy. Just push a button. If you go to the People of Diversity Facebook page or group, ask to join, and we'll let you in. And then on Sunday you will get a notification that the premiere is starting, and you just push that button. It takes you right there. So each week we bless a country. So if you have any information about the country that we're blessing next week, feel free to send it to the email address below, and we'll use it in our country blessing. if it's appropriate. Um, next week is Guinea. I don't know anything about Guinea, so bring it on.
Guinea pig.
Guinea hen.
Ooh,
Yeah.
see, we
I
know
don't think
two
either-
things
no,
about Guinea.
I don't think either one of them is actually from Guinea. But we'll find out next week. This week, we are blessing Guatemala. So, Guatemala is located in Central America, just south of Mexico. It is slightly larger than Kentucky and has 18.6 million people.
Oh my.
57% Roman Catholic and 40% Protestant. It has been inhabited for 20,000 years. Has been ruled by several different Mayan kingdoms, and there are over 5,000 archaeological sites there. Yeah, it's something in the size of Kentucky with 5,000 archaeological sites. There are 21 individual Mayan communities, and each one of them has its own language. But Spanish is the official language of the country, but there's a whole lot of other stuff going on there when it comes to speaking to each other. There are more than 30 volcanoes in the country. Remember, it's the size of Kentucky. 30 volcanoes, only 3 of them are active. 3's enough.
Yeah, one's enough.
Really. Coffee is their biggest industry.
Whoop, whoop.
They also export bananas and sugar, and agriculture makes up about a quarter of their economy. This is a good one. Chocolate came from Guatemala. Yay.
Chocolate
However,
and coffee. What a great
chocolate-
mix.
I know, man. Chocolate originally, when they first started shipping out chocolate, it was originally a bitter, unsweetened, cold drink that was flavored with spices, including hot peppers. But eventually, when sugar became an agricultural product there, they started sweetening the chocolate and making things like chocolate bars. And chocolate is one of their another one of their biggest exports. So, a favorite tourist spot, I hope I say this right, is Lake Atitlan. It's the deepest lake in Central America and is surrounded by 3 volcanoes and numerous Mayan communities. So a very beautiful spot.
That's the place.
It's really, really beautiful. A very deep lake. Okay, and here's the last one. I like this one. It's common practice for American school buses that have hit their mileage limit, taking kids to school here, that they are taken to Guatemala, where they are refurbished, painted crazy with strokes of every color of paint that's available at the moment, and they are used for public transit. And this is supposedly a wild ride in more ways than one. So, but that's a good thing for our old school buses, don't you think?
I
That's
do.
kinda cool, yeah. So, let's hold the people of Guatemala in our hearts, knowing they want the same things in their lives that we want in ours. We see them at peace. We see them with abundance. We see them enjoying their lives, enjoying their families. And we hold them in our hearts and we say these words together.
May peace prevail in Guatemala. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me.
Thank you. Okay, you're up.
Bob Sima and Shannon Plummer will bring us 2 amazing videos on respect. I don't know what they are yet. I know a lot of Bob's music, but I don't know which ones he's going to pick or why. This should be an interesting, this should be very interesting. And of course, Dean always educates us on all things Baha'i. We'll have videos, we'll have music, we'll have Dean's passion for his faith and his desire to connect with other faiths and other people and all things spiritual. He's just a really neat guy. You're going to like him. Without further ado, we'll see you on the other side.
to divide, to take our seat and take a side, while liberties are being denied. But we won't go there. No, we won't go there. If only you knew. If you could see our heart, you would feel the beating of the just, know the meaning of in God we trust. Never underestimate the love within all of us. You want us to close our eyes, to watch the screens and stay inside. No, we will fill the streets with peaceful smiles. Yes, we will go there. We will go there. If only you knew. If you could see our heart. If you want to go fast, then go alone. If you want to go far, you better bring somebody else along. 'Cause in the moment of darkness, in the moment of truth, you think you're lucky stars that there's someone there with you. There's a beauty in numbers that's impossible to deny. It takes two hands to applaud and a pair of wings to reach the sky. Where there was one, there will be many. Where there was nothing, there will be plenty. When me turns the weed like the roots from the tree, it pushes everything up from underneath. Well, together we rise, together we thrive. We believe in circles, 'cause circles take no side. Together we win when everyone is in, when every little hand and every little heart touches every little piece and every little part now. If you want to start a revolution, reach out your hand and lift up a brother or sister and feel the power at your command. If you hold a vision, show everyone what you see and watch the tribe come alive to turn your dream to reality. Where there was one, there will be many. Where there was nothing, there will be plenty. When me turns the weed like the roots from the tree, it pushes everything up from underneath. Well, together we rise, together we thrive. one wing flap, many hands, many hearts, make things happen. The reason they call it unity, 'cause it all begins with you and me. If you wanna go fast, then go alone. If you wanna go far, you better bring somebody else along. Together we rise, together we thrive. We believe in circles, 'cause circles take no sides. Together we win when everyone is in, when every little hand and every little heart touches every little piece and every little part now. Together we rise, together we thrive. We believe in circles, 'cause circles take no sides. Together we rise, together we thrive. We believe in circles, 'cause circles take no sides.
Hello, everyone, wherever you may be. I'm Dean Martineau from the Melbourne, Florida Baha'i community, talking about how the Baha'i teachings interface with the concept of respect. I'm going to talk about three particular teachings of the Baha'i faith, which, in fact, as they are adopted by individuals and as they permeate the planet, they will cause us to include, that will include respect, but they will also transcend the notion of respect. So let's talk first about the notion of the most important Baha'i principle, that being the oneness of humanity. That is the principle around which all other teachings of Baha'u'llah revolve. It is a new religious teaching never before uttered until Baha'u'llah came, and it has undreamed of implications for us all as individuals, as families, as nations, and as a society. There are a lot of places, and I've talked about this lots of times, but Baha'u'llah talks about this principle in one particular place that I want to read. That comes from a book which is available online and in print called The Hidden Words of Baha'u'llah. He says, "O children of men, know ye not why we created you all from the same dust, that no one should exalt himself over the other? Ponder at all times in your hearts how ye were created. Since we have created you all from one same substance, it is incumbent on you to be even as one soul, to walk with the same feet, eat with the same mouth, and dwell in the same land, that from your inmost being, by your deeds and actions, the signs of oneness and the essence of detachment may be made manifest. Such is my counsel to you, O concourse of light. Heed ye this counsel, that ye may obtain the fruit of holiness from the tree of wondrous glory." Now, to ponder this, and there's no end to the amount of pondering you can do on this, if we are to be even as one fingers of one hand in terms of our relation one to another, this seems to me to greatly transcend the idea of merely respecting each other. After all, we are one. We are part of the same human organism. And as we learn this, because it's going to take learning for all of us, it will totally revolutionize how we are with each other, how we relate, how we think about each other, even those with whom we have great difficulty because perhaps they are very different and their approaches are very different. This is not easy. This takes effort, but guided by the principle of the oneness of humanity, it is possible, and it will be possible. It's already increasingly possible for the members of the Baha'i community and those who are working to strive to build the community, the community of human life, who are, as the Baha'i writings talk about, seeking to release the society building powers of the faith in ever greater measure through activities. And we've talked about this before, the different core activities that make up life in a community. Another aspect of this is the notion that our reality is our thought. So just thinking good thoughts isn't sufficient. We have to engage in good actions, and there has to be a system built that will enable humanity to benefit from these good thoughts and to form the oneness of humanity. And we'll be talking about that in a few moments, but our thought is our reality. And that's really a vital thing. So I'm going to show you a couple videos about the oneness of humanity and about thought. And actually, in the opposite order, we're going to talk about thought and what the effects our thoughts can have, since in fact we are all one. And then I'll have a video, nice reggae video, demonstrating the oneness of humanity.
Baha'u'llah says, close your eyes to racial differences. Baha'u'llah says, welcome on with the light of oneness. The well-being of mankind is peace and security are unattainable unless and until its unity is firmly established. Ye are the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. Chained to a wall of stone in a dungeon beneath the ground, living as an exile alone in a filthy prison town. The manifestation foretold as the glory of the Father, was suffering affliction so we could learn to love each other. Yeah. Baha'u'llah says, close your eyes to racial differences. Baha'u'llah says, welcome all with the light of oneness. The well-being of mankind, its peace and security are unattainable unless and until its unity is firmly established. Ye are the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. Living in a world of souls divided amongst themselves. Race riot and gang war, and so it's a sad, sad story to tell. And just when it seems that the side of darkness now has won, the truth lights up the sky like the dawn of the morning sun. Yeah. Baha'u'llah says, close your eyes to racial differences. Baha'u'llah says, welcome all with the light of oneness. The well-being of mankind, its peace and desire with all your heart friendship with every race on earth.
Your thoughts, spiritual and positive, will spread.
It will become the desire of others, growing stronger and stronger until it reaches the minds of all men. If you desire with all your heart friendship with every race on earth,
Your thoughts, spiritual and positive, will spread.
it will become the desire of others, growing stronger and stronger until it reaches the minds of all men. You've got to find the source, my friend. It's not so hard to do. You've got to find the source, my friend. It's all left up to you. There is an answer. A new day's coming soon. You've got to find the source, my friend. Get your hearts and minds in tune.
We have come this far.
We have come this far.
We have come this far.
We've come this far.
We have come this far.
We have come this far by faith.
There is an answer. A new day's coming soon. You got to find the source, my friend. Get your hearts and minds in tune. Don't be patronizing to me, my friend, and I'll try not to be suspicious of you. If you show me your genuine friendship, I will try to warmly respond to
We have come this far by faith.
Tumefika mpaka hapa kwa imani.
We have come this far by faith.
Hemos llegado tan lejos por fe.
Nous sommes arrivés aussi loin par la foi.
There is an answer. A new day's coming soon. You got to find the source, my friend. Get your hearts and minds in tune. Get your hearts and minds in tune. Get your hearts and minds in tune.
I hope you enjoyed that music and were able to ponder the implications of it. Moving on, I want to talk about another fundamental teaching of Baha'u'llah. And in fact, it's, as is all the teachings of Baha'u'llah, it kind of revolves around the teaching of the oneness of humanity, and that is the oneness of religion. Baha'u'llah tells us to consort with the followers of all religions in a spirit of friendliness and fellowship. And I want to discuss for a moment how it is that this notion helps transcend the notion of respect regarding religion and makes it possible to respect the religions, but also to go beyond that in our feelings. Let's take Islam, a faith which is totally maligned in the West, about which very little is really known about the real life of Muhammad and the real contributions made by Islam to human civilization. Now, let us say you're a Christian, and I'm leaving out completely the millions of Christians who believe that only their church or their denomination representatives are going to go to heaven and everybody else is going to go to hell, that isn't even worth really discussing. Let's assume that you are a Christian who honestly respects people, honestly seeks to love people, and perhaps or perhaps you haven't had relations with Muslims, but you really believe that that is their belief and they have their right to believe that. That's all well and good. However, you can't really believe that Muhammad is right, that Muhammad brought the truth. If you believed that as a Christian, you would become a Muslim because that would be the fulfillment of the Christian faith. To believe with all your heart that Muhammad really was the apostle of God as he claims to be. Now, and this is also true of the masses, the ever growing masses of people who believe that they are not part of any religion, who are spiritual but not religious. It would be very difficult to go beyond just kind of live and let live, and that's their belief and they're entitled to it, kind of an attitude. Comparing that with the attitude that is inculcated by Baha'u'llah. I know as a Baha'i that Muhammad was the messenger of God, the apostle of God, the seal of the prophets, although I have a different viewpoint on that subject than do the followers of Muhammad largely. And as one who and Baha'u'llah calls upon us to learn about Muhammad, to study the Quran, to learn the life of Muhammad and how his teachings have benefited humanity. And as one who's done that a little tiny bit, it is breathtaking, the life of Muhammad, the dangers he faced, the difficulties he transcended, the depth of his teachings, the civilization he created is nothing short of remarkable. So I know that Muhammad is from God. Now, Muhammad and other followers, other manifestations of God and their followers have not yet opened the book of God to its current chapter, that of the Bab and Baha'u'llah, as we've talked about many times before. But their faith is the truth. Their faith came from God. It is, I think, I shouldn't say totally impossible. I wouldn't be able to prove it, and I'm not qualified to judge what's in each person's heart. But absence of belief, of this belief, there's no way that I can imagine sizable numbers of people coming to love and respect the faith of Islam. Indeed, as I stumble through my words, Baha'u'llah calls upon the Baha'is to glorify Islam and to, as it were, rehabilitate the fate of Islam because, as we all know, the Muslims have not behaved real well lately in many ways. So the notion here that it'll be the Baha'is that will bring to life the true teachings of Muhammad, and this is a good example of religions, probably the religion that is the most maligned in Western Europe, about whom the most myths have been spread and the poorest education has been carried out. Thanks to the teachings of Baha'u'llah, we can learn to truly love the faith, truly love the followers of that faith, because many hundreds of millions of Muslims engage in the true faith of Muhammad as they are guided to do by their learning and by their study. So that's a notion of respect, that the teaching of the oneness of religion that is brought by Baha'u'llah leads us to respect, but even much more than respect, the followers of other faiths and those faiths themselves. The final notion I'm going to bring about, and the final teaching of Baha'u'llah that I'm going to mention, and I can't really do this justice because of how vast it is, has to do with the notion of the covenant of Baha'u'llah. Religions historically, as we know, have been plagued by the fact that after the founder of the religion dies, the faith splits up into schisms and sects and often deviates from the real path of the founder of the faith. How many Christian churches and different non-denominational and interdenominational and otherwise that you describe, there's new ones popping up all the time. In Islam, there are two major divisions, but a lot of lesser divisions. There are many different ways of approaching Judaism. There are all kinds of different Buddhist schools. All these problems stem from the fact that before the founder of those faiths passed on, they did not leave a covenant. They did not name a successor. Arguably, Christ, some believe, named Peter as his successor when he said that he was a rock and upon that rock will build his church, but that was not a clear notion of successorship. Muhammad, there are those who say, wanted to name a successor, in fact did in some traditions, but was prevented from doing so by the believers. As such, the faith of Islam divided, and the consequences of that have continued on to the present day. If we're going to have the oneness of religion, if we're going to unify the world, we need to be unified ourselves. Before dying, Baha'u'llah named his successor, Abdul-Baha, whom we've talked about quite a bit, and we'll talk about other times as well. And I can't really do this topic justice, and I'm not even going to try to, but what I want to talk about here has to do with how this inculcates, because Baha'u'llah, then Abdul-Baha following him was his grandson, Shoghi Effendi. Shoghi Effendi built an administrative system so that the Baha'is are in the process of creating institutions. And it's very interesting because the Baha'i faith inculcates in its followers a love for the institutions. We love our governmental institutions in the faith, or we're striving to learn to do so. These are called spiritual assemblies now, and the head of them at the world level is the Universal House of Justice. How different is this attitude that we love our institutions and that our institutions love us and strive to care for us? And there's a tax, kind of a tax, that's the best analogy for it in the Baha'i faith. And when I get a chance to pay it, it's a matter of, it's something you pay when you have the means, and it's totally voluntary, but it's highly encouraged, and it's really a duty for us. And when we do it, when I get a chance to pay that tax, I am joyful. And in fact, that's the only attitude under which the tax is accepted. How different is that than the attitude that every resident of every country has toward the country's tax system? So these are some implications, and I can't go into too much detail about them because there's not that much time, but Baha'u'llah, through his covenant, that teaching, which is the greatest teaching in a way of this dispensation, a new teaching never found before, is providing and will continue to provide greater and greater unity among the community of the Baha'i faith throughout the world, so that you can travel anywhere and you're part of the same community, you're engaging in the same sorts of thoughts and activities, and you are welcomed. I've had the chance to do this in various countries and many more cities in the US. And thanks to the covenant of Baha'u'llah, that attitude of respect and love, not only for individuals, but for governmental institutions. The three protagonists I've mentioned before in the community building process, the process into which we are releasing the society building powers of the faith to ever greater measure, are the individual, the community, and the institutions, each of which has its own role to play, but we have to play that role together, and there's a deepening, abiding love and respect that each of these protagonists has for the others. I'm going to show you two videos to end, having to do with this covenant that's kind of mystical and kind of a different reality. How often would you think about singing songs and glorifying something that it was as simple as the founder of the faith naming a successor. Well, it's much deeper than that and will have far greater implications for humanity. So if you're around on Sunday morning, if you're watching this on Sunday, I look forward to talking to you during the deep dive. And so thank you very much for coming and visiting, and I will talk to you next time.
It is indubitably clear that the pivot of the oneness of mankind is nothing else but the power of the covenant. It is indubitably clear that the pivot of the oneness of mankind is nothing else but the power of the covenant. The power of the covenant is as the heat of the sun, which quickeneth and promoteth the development of all created things on earth. It is indubitably clear that the pivot of the oneness of mankind is nothing else but the power of the covenant. It is indubitably clear that the pivot of the oneness of mankind is nothing else but the power of the covenant. The light of the covenant, in like manner, is the educator of the minds, the spirits, the hearts, and the souls of men. It is indubitably clear that the pivot of the oneness of mankind is nothing else but the power of the covenant. It is indubitably clear that the pivot of the oneness of mankind is nothing else but the power of the covenant. The power of the covenant is as the heat of the sun, which quickeneth and promoteth the development of all created things on earth. It is indubitably clear that the pivot of the oneness of mankind is nothing else but the power of the covenant. It is indubitably clear that the pivot of the oneness of mankind is nothing else but the power of the covenant.
To the center of the moon, he came into this world on the King of Days, not a moment too soon. All the spirit of faith contained in him, like a vessel he encompassed the word. The The ark on the water through stormy seas, he sails on unperturbed. He wore the holy armor, the Holy One from the east. In the soul of the world he built a fire, and I'm burning away in its heat. Oh, the promise is made with creation, a covenant for all humankind, a fortress of strength for my wandering heart. To its magnet of love I will bind. And then he holds out his hand, he's doing his part. The promise of ages past, and I'm drawn like a cord to the covenant. Oh, I cling to the hem of his garment. The pure and stainless mirror in the station of servitude, pivot of oneness in a fractured world, born of the ancient root. In the tablet of the branch she named you, the appointed one to shepherd the herd, perfect exemplar to guide the way, interpreter of his word. And then he holds out his hand, he's doing his part. The promise of ages past, and I'm drawn like a cord to the covenant. Oh, I cling to the hem of his garment. Be thou so steadfast in my love, that thy heart shall not waver, even if the heavens and earth arise against thee. Be thou as a flame of fire and a river of life eternal, and be not shaken, for I am with you always, with you always. As ye have faith, so shall your powers and blessings be.
Thank you, Bob and Shannon. As always, perfect choices. And we do appreciate and love you guys so much. And Dean, thank you too. Your talks are always so educational and entertaining, and the Baha'is just have such amazing multimedia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always
ducks in a row.
Yeah, no kidding. It's always really, really cool. So thank you very much. And Philip, thank you
Whoop, whoop.
for taking everything, all the craziness that we send you, and putting it together and making it smooth and beautiful. So if you are out there in the world and you have needs in this realm, multimedia needs, this sort of stuff, technical needs, get hold of Philip, and he will be able to help you out. So, following the service, 11:45 to 12:15, join us for our live Zoom deep dive if you're watching the morning service, and we will sit and chat and look at each other and smile, and it'll be awesome, and we'll enjoy it.
Dean usually hangs out for that too.
Oh, that's true. Dean, yeah, he pretty much always does when, yeah. So Dean will most likely be there with us. And then at 5:45 in the evening, we will rebroadcast the morning service. You can go back and watch it again, get a second dose.
Get more,
or send someone back that you think might appreciate something that you heard or something that touched you in the morning service. Send them back, and that's the service that gets pinned to the top of the Facebook page. So if you want to go back later on in the week or send somebody back to that will be available. So next week is our Native American representative, our dear darling friend Will Davis. I just love him, and his musical guest will be Keith Leon.
That's going to be a good connection. I think they're going to be a groovy team. Yeah. Yeah. Let's take just a moment, put your feet on the ground, take a nice deep breath, close your eyes. Spirit, thank you for all of the tithes, for all the time, for the treasure that these people bring to spread out to whoever is open to see and view and watch and be with us. We are grateful for it all, Spirit, and we say together, amen.
Amen.
Don't click off just yet, because the most important part of the service is now. If you'll bring to your mind's eye anyone who might need support, love, healing, be it on a personal level or as you're looking out into the world and seeing the chaos that is our world right now. Let's put those cares and concerns into the center of the circle, and we'll all shower it with love and light. And don't forget yourself in that circle, and let's soak up some of this wonder for ourselves as well. Y'all have an amazing day, week, and we'll see you next time.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power